So Bitcoin is not doing a whole lot this morning. It hasn't been doing a whole lot. I almost feel like a broken record here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. But basically, you're hovering below your all-time high and above this trend line. As I said, as long as we don't get below this line and confirm, neutral to positive bias with potential upside in Bitcoin. If we get below this line, it would be a warning sign. If we confirm, you should honestly have a bigger pullback there. That would be a huge break of a trend line right there.
Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoinzilla, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoinzilla offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoinzilla. Subscribe now. In this video, Gareth will share his insights on: will Bitcoin soar or stumble? What lies beneath Bitcoin's chart patterns? A potential rally or a warning sign? Is Bitcoin's current stability a calm before a storm or a steady climb to new peaks? Let's join Gareth in this interview about these topics and more.
JP Morgan Chase beats earnings, but the stock is falling over 2.5%. It's actually moving a little bit lower. We're going to look at the chart. I have a technical level potentially that I might be looking at for a day trade today. I'll share that with you. And also there's a bigger breakdown here at work. And again, to me, JP Morgan was one of the last big name stocks that's looked at as being a major component of the market, and it might be breaking down today. So this, if it does happen, increases my bearish view on the overall markets and a potential decline coming over the next couple months. Okay, next up, Wells Fargo Citigroup reported positive results after earnings. Generally, they were good, but again, they had a little bit of here and there, mediocre stuff. Ultimately, these stocks, if you look at any of these stocks, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, they've all been trading at near all-time highs or 52-week highs. And so when you trade at all-time highs going into earnings, it's very hard. Like, you have to knock the cover off the ball to make sure that your stock is going to go up even more when you're trading at all-time highs. And I think that was one of the things going into JP Morgan's earnings that had me kind of aware of, like, this could be a sell-off here on earnings, any sort of mediocreness, and sure enough, we got that. BlackRock, on the other hand, was not trading at all-time highs or 52-week highs, and that stock actually did very, very well on earnings, a lot of new money under management, and again, their guidance and earnings were very solid. Intel and AMD falling pre-market after China continues to talk and move towards diversification, getting rid of chips that are coming from other countries and looking to domestic chips. And again, this is even something that not a lot of people are talking about. I've talked about how the competition for AI chips is going to just be mounting more and more. Intel just recently reported a new chip or came to light of a new chip, and their chip is 1.5 times faster than NVIDIA's chips. So you're having this competition come, but then you also have these other factors going into other countries saying, listen, we don't want to have other chips from other countries because of the potential espionage aspect or spying or taking information type stuff. So we're going to move towards domestic producers. And that, again, is going to be another kind of hurdle that a lot of these AI companies are going to have to get over in the next couple years. All right, lastly, I think this is just an interesting one. One of the biggest bulls on Tesla has been Dan Ives, right? One of the biggest bulls. Like, I remember when I was bearish on the stock and it was trading at all-time highs, and even when it was off of those all-time highs, he was always bullish. And I'm just like, man, this guy's always bullish. Well, finally, Dan Ives says he's nearing the point of giving up on the stock. And he basically says, listen, if they don't show me something soon, I'm going to have to basically jump ship on being a bull on this stock. Even saying the robo-taxi is not the answer in the near term. Now, for me, I'm a contrarian, right? So when he was uber bullish at the highs, I was kind of more bearish. And now it makes me wonder if we're setting up for a move up. Now, I want to be clear. I still think ultimately when we do hit a recession, which is inevitable, like whether it's this year, next year, or the next year after that, the U.S. will have a recession. There will be one at some point in the future. I guarantee that. But ultimately, the question is do we get a bounce before it heads lower? So I actually agree it will go lower. The question is, do we get a bounce first and foremost?
Bitcoin's value recently fell by nearly 7% to $65,239, but it has started to recover. This drop happened during a time of uncertainty in the market, as everyone is waiting to see if the price will go up or down. The upcoming Bitcoin halving event on April 20 might help increase the price. Bitcoin's price went down a lot in one day, but it's starting to come back up. The market is waiting to see if the price will stabilize or change significantly. Ethereum also saw a big price drop, adding to the market's instability. This makes the future of cryptocurrency prices even more uncertain. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum are in a holding pattern, with everyone looking for signs of where the market will go next. The halving event might help, but for now the market is not moving much in either direction. Overall, Bitcoin and Ethereum are facing a tough market, but there's hope that things might improve with the upcoming halving event. Everyone is keeping an eye on the market to see what will happen next.
INJ is a crypto. Many of you guys have probably heard of it, but look at this trend line here and look at the break point. So if we look at this, we had this little level here. Bear with me here as I get my drawing up. So this pivot low right in here, right? So we go there to here to here. Look at all these hits. And remember, the more times you hit a door, the weaker that door becomes before it breaks down. And so eventually what happens, you break down. Notice here how you confirmed, retraced to the scene of the crime, and then it's starting to move lower. So if you're looking at this is not a good chart. This would be a bearish chart. It's broken below the level. Like basically, if you compare this to Bitcoin, this would be that line on Bitcoin. So now that this is broken below, it likely is headed much lower. You'll have a little bit of support right at this pivot point here, which is, I think, is around 27 to 28. But ultimately, this could be headed down here. This will be the huge area. This will be a lot of support right in this zone. But this is all the way below 20 bucks. And again, one of the interesting things here, a lot of these altcoins, not so much Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of like the champ of the altcoins. But a lot of these altcoins are looking very, very bearish while Bitcoin holds up. And again, is this a Bitcoin dominance type of thing? Maybe it's going to continue up on Bitcoin dominance, and that could be what it's telling us. But the altcoins do not look healthy right now, a majority of them. Not everyone, but a majority of them. Looking at gold real quick, gold just continues to rip. I thought it would pull back a little bit before going to my ultimate yearly high of 2,540 bucks. But this is just a rock star here. I mean, gold is just seeing tons of upside, up again today. This is a new level I did discover. I just want to show it to you. I'll erase the other one so we keep it as clean as possible. But basically, if we look at a trend line here, right? So this is a new trend line. This is where we could see a little bit more resistance. We have all of these kind of pivot points right through here and then right to this top. And this is around, I think it's around 2440, 2450, right around there. So we're actually getting kind of close to that. Currently trading right around 2400 or just below. But it looks like that would be your next chance at a pullback on gold. But remember, guys, pullbacks for me are buying opportunities. You give me a good pullback, I'm buying gold. I'm buying gold miners, all of these things, as I still think it's going to above 2,500 before year end. Now, crazy enough, 2,500 is only about $100 away. Incredible move. Like, again, for those of you that are new to gold, this doesn't happen very often in the cycles of gold. You get this once every decade maybe or so, maybe every 20 years. But it is a move that gold bugs have been anticipating because of the U.S. debt, because of the inflation, because of the problems of printing money. You know, again, all currencies out there are being printed. Every central bank, Japan, the European Union, U.S., they're all printing money to central banks. So gold is not. I mean, gold is mined, but it costs money to mine, just like Bitcoin does. And so again, gold should be going up with inflation and with printing of money and with debt risk. And that's what we're seeing here finally play out to the upside.
BlackRock, the biggest asset manager globally, now manages over $10.5 trillion. Its Bitcoin ETF, called IBIT, is a leader in the U.S. market with 270,000 Bitcoins. BlackRock's assets increased by $1.4 trillion in a year, showing its financial industry dominance. IBIT holds about 269,314 BTC, worth $18.9 billion. BlackRock CEO praises its growth and Bitcoin's future. BlackRock added 9 big financial firms to IBIT, like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, showing more institutional interest. BlackRock wants to start an Ether ETF, despite doubts about SEC approval. Circle introduced tech for BUIDL fund holders to swap shares for USTC, increasing liquidity and flexibility. BlackRock's move into digital assets highlights the growing acceptance of cryptocurrencies by institutions. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.